What is your American dream?
My American dream is that, we have peace and equality for all, that we stop this border walls. Don't build walls, build bridges, as the Pope says, and I go along with what he says, that we open the doors to America, not just to special people.
I'm pursuing my dream that I've always had since I was a child and never could, which is to be a full-time musician. So I am living my dream.
I have my American dream. My father came here with $35 in his pocket. He died a millionaire, so that was my American dream.
My American dream. Take the lotto.
My American dream is to bring Little Italy back to what it was and to continue doing what we're doing.
I feel like my American dream is to be able to make art that represents all of America, not just the white middle to upper class America, so that people can see themselves represented and can see themselves as American and feel like everyone has a place here.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Groundhog Sam! Okay, I think we're clear. No yellow snow here. You always gotta check with dogs around. Ow! Hello, everybody! Groundhog Sam here. I hope you had a great weekend. I sure did. And it snowed last night. Oh, it was really messy out. And as you can see, here I am on a pile of the white frozen cold stuff. And of course, as per usual, groundhogs are getting blamed for this snowstorm. Listen, people, if a weather person can't get the weather right, how can you always think that we're gonna get it right? We're just little marmots and we do the best we can. And now, guess what they did to one of my ilk in Kansas? Do you remember how I met my biggest fan recently? Wow!
Groundhog Sam, I'm your biggest fan. Can I get your autograph?
You came all the way to Spar Bernstein to visit me?
I did.
Well, guess what? There's another one like him out in Kansas. And you know what happened to her? They arrested her for being a groundhog and tampering with the weather.
Officer, what's going on?
Oh, we had to make an arrest today on the groundhog. Things haven't been looking good with the weather, so she'll be going to jail for the evening. Groundhog, you gotta fix this weather. We Kansans don't like this snow in March.
It's a shame, I tell you. It's a shame. It's a darn shame. We said spring was coming. Fine, we had a bit of a mishap here. But just bear with the weather. Weather is weather. It changes. Just because we had a little snow doesn't mean spring's not coming. So bear with us and let my groundhog ilk go. Hashtag let my groundhog ilk go. Kansas Police Department. It's not her fault. I'm gonna start a petition, I believe. Anyway, did you miss last episode of Bradshaw Live? Well, in case you did, we had U.S. Army veteran Laura Meza on. Laura Meza served as a dental hygienist in the U.S. Army overseas. In Germany, she suffered a military sexual trauma, and then she was deployed and suffered PTSD after being involved in a mass casualty incident in Operation Iraqi Freedom. She came home to America, and after getting in some trouble with the law due to the stress disorders she was dealing with, she sadly served 2 years in prison, 1 year in immigration detention, then she was deported to Costa Rica, a country she had not known since she was less than 5 years old. So we spoke to Laura as she's hoping after 10 years of being deported that the United States will let her come back where she can be with her American-born daughter and her family. We're rooting for you, Laura. And now's the time you've all been waiting for. It's time for Bradshaw Live, starring Brad, Bernstein, and co-host Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias. Enjoy! All right, let me get that petition going. Snow, snow, snow. Enjoy it, people. Snow.
everybody. It is not May 4th. It is March 4th.
March 4th.
March 4th, 2019. Yeah. I got thrown for a loop for a second. I said, wait a second.
They threw a May 4th on your papers?
They threw a May 4th on my papers. And I said, wait a second. If it's May 4th, why is it snowing outside? I'm so smart, huh? So smart.
They try to do you. They
try to
just throw you for a loop.
Yeah, I'm like,
trying to make sure you're paying attention.
Exactly. Anyways, welcome everybody. It's Bradshaw Live, March 4th, Monday. I hope everybody had a great weekend. If you are in New York, the fake snowstorm, hashtag fake snowstorm. Mayor de Blasio canceled school at 6 o'clock yesterday. He says he did it based on the best information he had. We woke up this morning and it was a little slushy outside.
It was nothing compared to what they said it was going to be.
Yeah. And then when they say it's going to be nothing, then it's like a disaster, right?
Right, yeah. Because like 2 months ago, I think, when they said they were basically unprepared for the snowstorm that came.
Right.
I'm telling you, like, the weatherman is the most, like, unpredictable, like,
Why do we even have? Why do we even have this man?
I don't even know why we have a weatherman.
Why do we have this man?
I don't know, and I don't know why he still has a job. I feel like if I'm ever wrong with anything, I would be fired. Just like off that, like in my industry, in the TV industry, if you lie and do fake news, that's fake news.
Do you know I find weather really dumb? The whole idea of having a weather report to me is like the dumbest thing in the world. Think about it. Okay, we have to watch 5 minutes of a man looking at a screen, showing us some clouds, telling us what the barometric pressure is going to be, how fast the wind is going to go. The cloud is coming up from the southwest, which means that we have a low pressure system. Who gives a crap?
Right.
Just tell me, do I need to wear a coat?
That's it. That's all you really need.
Right. Do I need to wear Just tell me what I need to wear tomorrow morning, right?
Yeah,
the whole thing is, I don't really, they do this whole thing about barometric. I'm like, do I care about what the barometric pressure is?
Do I know what the hell you're talking about? No.
Nobody knows what barometric pressure is except my 10th grade science teacher who once told me, and the weatherman. But he tells us every day. I wish the weather report could be like literally 15 seconds. Hi, I'm the weather guy. Tomorrow's going to be cold. Wear your coat. That's it. That's all I need to know.
All you need. That is all we need.
Right? Don't even tell me the weather because you get it wrong anyway. It's going to be 43. BS, it's going to be 43. Just tell me if it's going to be cold or warm.
I agree.
Right? 100%. That's all they can tell me.
I agree.
Meanwhile, Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias, for those who are wondering where Belgium Kim is, she's on a little bit of an extended holiday, and hopefully she will be back shortly. Soon. In the meantime, I got Yo-Yo, I've got me, I've got Jilly Bean, I got Julian the TriCaster guy, Jenny from the Cubicle, Shannon, Party Rock. We got the whole crew still. We got a
full
Patrice,
team.
Pat Rice. That's right. We got a full team. Sans, Belgium Kin. Sans. But you know who's here?
Our Brad Squad.
Absolutely. Correct. Abigail Taylor Watson says, hey, squad. Jessica Leamy Joel, squad up, love. Who else we got here? Dion Watson saying hello. Ramona Hazel saying squad up. Kafui Praise. He's new, maybe.
Yeah,
is he new, squad? Welcome, Kafui Praise. He says, squad up to you all. He may be new, or maybe he's been watching a while and now he's just getting into it. But he knew exactly to come in and say squad up.
I like it.
Carol Anderson, the Tiger, CC Mitchell, what's going on? Marge Higgs, how was your weekend? Asset Lindo saying hello. All of our friends here. And also Olaroon Wah coming in quick with a question. With a question on Facebook. We will get to your questions all on social media. And what do you say? In about 45 minutes, 30 minutes
Absolutely.
or so? 30, 45 minutes
35, yeah.
30, 35, 40, whatever Jonathan says. I'm going to let
35 minutes.
Okay, I'm going to go with whatever Jonathan says. And as far as on YouTube, which we love YouTube, it's so much, when I go home to watch the show, I always watch it on YouTube.
It's clearer.
It's easier to navigate.
Yeah.
You don't get bothered by Facebook posts that are coming in.
Right.
As you're watching.
This is true.
Yeah, so I always watch on YouTube. Shanique
I feel like the Facebook family, our Facebook Brad Squad, you should watch on YouTube as well. If you want to rewatch or go back, watch on YouTube.
I watch it on YouTube.
But make sure you subscribe.
Yeah. Joan Cowell saying hello. Meet your Francis on We're getting a lot of Olaf. We have an Olaf from Renee Oteweller.
Yeah.
Cordella Douglas saying squad up. Shirley Stedman says, Brad, love your show. Thank you very much. And on YouTube, Shanique Meyer says, happy Monday, Brad Squad family. Ja Love saying hello to everybody. Simone Garraway, Afzaleh says, squad up, Brad, squad up team. Happy Monday to everyone.
Love it.
We always love Afzaleh.
Yes.
Eulette Wilson, what's going on? And who else we have here? Carol the Top Cat, Tigress 2 Anderson, who is the same as Carol the Tiger on Facebook.
You said Marcine Fraser already?
I did not. I did
Dane
not.
Williams.
I did not. I didn't
From
see,
ATL.
I did not see them. I did
ATL,
not see
Shawty.
any of them. So while I get my what?
Before we do start, though, this is our first episode in March, right?
Correct.
Congratulations to all the women out there. It is Women's History Month, so all the queens out there, happy month for you. This is the beginning of your month, March.
I did not know that.
Yeah, March is Women's Month.
March is Women's Month.
Women's History Month.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
So we have a lot of queens that
Yes.
watch, so shout out to everybody out there.
Queens,
Yes.
maybe some young princesses too.
Queens in training.
Queens in training. We don't even
Yeah.
call them
We don't-
princesses.
no.
They're queens and queens in training. All right, I like it. All right. So, Jonathan, before we go into our, how do you like to call it, the smooze?
Schmoozing.
The schmoozing.
I say it
right,
now.
You say
Look,
it now, right.
I practice all weekend.
Practice all weekend. Jonathan was in the mirror going, schmoozing. Seashells, schmooze.
Schmooze on the seashore.
You can't even say it, on the seashore. Schmoozing on the seashore.
I can't say it.
Before we do that, Jonathan has some quick words to tell everybody to help us get the word out to the entire world that we are here to help you. We don't even say it enough. Really reach your American dreams, whatever they may be. You know, American dreams, you know, it's a nebulous word. It actually means anything. Just reach your dreams, reach your potential, make you happy, enjoy life. That's what we hear about.
Absolutely.
Okay, so when we say what's your American dream, it means whatever you want it to mean.
Yes.
But let us get the word out. Jonathan, you tell them how we get the word out.
Absolutely, you guys. You already know what we have to do. First of all, let's start sharing. Share the video right now on Facebook. But make sure when you're not only sharing it to the groups and to people's personal pages, you're also sharing it in the inbox. Create a group of friends, family, anybody that you think might need to know some information, might need help on getting a visa, deportation, whatever it is, or might just want to be entertained by an amazing show by Brad. You guys make sure you send it in the inbox, a personal message, and also interact. We want you guys to interact. We want you to like, love, laugh, cry, smile, whatever you want. Just make sure you interact, and you also please comment. Talk to us, talk to your friends, talk to the Brad Squad. You can tag people into the comments and they can actually get notifications that way, and they'll tune into the show as well. So make sure you guys interact. And we'll also be talking about some pretty interesting topics even in the middle of the show, because we want to find out what you guys feel, all right? And also YouTube, you guys are not discounted. All right, we love you guys and we want you guys to interact as well, okay? Make sure you share by copying the link, send it in a WhatsApp, make a group, and share it with your friends, family, anybody, all right? And make sure you also subscribe. All our Facebook Brad Squatters, you make sure you subscribe as well, all right? Go back to YouTube. We're all a family, okay? We want to bridge that gap, okay? So now we like to talk to you and give you some 411 on what's happening in the world with
Schmoozing with Brad. That's right, Schmoozing with Brad. Here we go, Jonathan. And somewhere there's a graphic that says Schmoozing with Brad. Somewhere there we are.
Right, they like to go back to your face.
Oh my God, nobody, I think they didn't drink their coffee today, maybe. Yeah, maybe they didn't drink their coffee or something today. Meanwhile, very sad news, talking about the weather. So there was some very severe weather. And it's all, you know, there was always very severe weather in Alabama. 23 people got killed by tornadoes. They touched down overnight. They were winds of 136 to 165 miles an hour. When a tornado goes through, they just rip everything in its path, literally.
Wow.
A radar loop of the destructive tornado that ripped through southern Lee County earlier today was the first tornado impact The powerful tornadoes that plowed through Lee County in Alabama, they killed 23 people, left a path of destruction that looked as if someone had taken a blade and just scraped the ground. Look at that. Yeah.
Wow.
Sheriff Jones, who was the sheriff there out in Alabama, called the damage catastrophic. The victims included children. At least 12 of those deaths occurred in areas about 5 to 6 miles south of Opelika. Jones told CNN affiliate WRBL that he could not confirm the number of people injured, but said some people were receiving treatment for some very serious injuries. They had a 5-minute warning from the time that...
A 5-minute?
5-minute warning from the time they were told tornadoes to find cover. Now, now look at that. If you go back and look at that picture, you're on a highway.
Right.
Okay, in the middle of nowhere. And you get where are you going to
supposed
drive?
to go?
Where are you supposed to go? What are you supposed to do?
It's traffic.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a very bad tornado.
Have you ever been in a tornado?
No, I've never been in a tornado. I've never seen a tornado.
I haven't either.
I've been in. I think there was a tornado once that something touched down in my house in Long Island years ago.
Really?
Because there were tornadoes. I didn't actually see it, but I heard all of a sudden a tree I saw literally, come flying down out of nowhere. But of everything, it was just this huge tree, and they said tornadoes hit, but I never actually saw it. I just heard the tree fall.
Right.
So, but I don't know. That's the closest I think I've ever been to a tornado. There's still 20 people unaccounted for. So although 23 confirmed dead, there may be more dead. There's 20 people who are unaccounted for. In Talibatin, Georgia, because this was not just in Alabama, but it was all across the whole South, at least 15 structures were destroyed by tornadoes on Sunday. 6 people suffered injuries out in Georgia, and officials in South Carolina were also investigating whether tornadoes were responsible for homes and businesses damaged in North Augusta. On Twitter, the National Weather Service says that severe weather could continue early into Monday over the southeast. Damaging winds, large hail, isolated tornadoes are possible.
That is scary.
That is very, very scary. Oof. Yes. Now, we're still waiting on the Mueller report, Jonathan.
Wow.
Okay. It could be any day now. Who knows?
Man.
That's right, man. Meanwhile, Jerry Nadler, who is from New York, he's a congressman. He heads the Judiciary Committee in New York. He said he's not going to wait for the Mueller report anymore. So he has subpoenaed over 60 people who are close to Donald Trump, or entities close to Donald Trump, including his entire family, Trump Jr., Alan Weisselberg, who's the chief financial officer of the Trump Organization, for documents related to his campaign, his financials disclosures, and he said the document troll will be used to present the case to the American people about obstruction of justice, corruption, and abuse of power. Now, impeachment, nobody's actually calling for impeachment yet. And the way this works is this is going to be a long time. Okay, just because Jerry Nadler decides to go write a letter to somebody, dear Donald Jr., please give me all your incriminating documents so we can impeach your father.
Right.
I don't think Donald Jr. is going to be so quick to say,
how much time do they have, though?
2 weeks, according to the letter. Okay. So I don't think Donald Jr., for example, is going to be like, oh, wow, I got this letter, let me go.
Right.
But I mean, he's dumb, so who knows? But I doubt he's dumb enough to say, okay, where do I send all this incriminating stuff?
Right.
And it was not just to Don Jr., but it was to a whole host of 60 people who worked in the White House, people who are no longer in the White House, like Don McGahn, who used to be the lawyer for the president. But he was representing the people for the president. He's not Donald Trump's personal lawyer. So apparently his assistant took copious notes of everything that was said between Donald Trump and Don McGahn for the first entire year of his presidency.
And they're going to have to give that up.
Right. Now what's going to happen is they're not going to get much from anybody who wants to try to protect Donald Trump. Why would you?
Right.
Okay. So the next step is...
But wouldn't that be like holding back information?
Well, right now it's like you asking, Yo-Yo writes a letter to Brad. Brad, please give me all of your Brad Show Live personal news notes for the day. I would like to read them myself. And these are my own personal notes for my news. I don't want to give them to you, so I won't. There's no
So
law.
you don't have to?
No, I don't have to. Now, what will happen is after they say, pretty please, Jerry Nadler says, pretty please, send it to me, and they don't, then they go through a process in Congress to issue a subpoena.
Okay.
Okay, and then the subpoenas will be issued out. Now, that may take weeks to get the subpoenas out, then you have a certain amount of time to respond to a subpoena.
Okay.
So now we're in April, May, June,
Sheesh.
and then, you know what's going to happen then? The president's going to say, and all of the people who are associated with him are going to say, executive privilege. Executive privilege. It's a privilege that the president has not to give over his own personal documents because he's the president of the United States.
Golly.
So then we're now at an impasse, and then the Judiciary Committee is going to have to sue Donald Trump and other people to try to get these documents.
Right.
But while he's suing them, these documents will slowly disappear. Okay?
Wow.
I don't know what happened to them anymore. They're lost. There was a fire. Who knows? I'm telling you, half of these
That's
documents are all of a
crazy.
sudden going to disappear. Watch.
That's insane.
Right?
So it's like,
Right.
why even go through all this?
Right. Now, if you remember under Nixon,
Right.
you may not remember because you were not born yet.
But I know his story.
But you know his story.
Mm-hmm.
What he did was he taped all his conversations. Okay, and for those who don't know, Nixon, he resigned before getting impeached.
Right.
And
I am not a crook.
He's not a crook, but he was a crook.
He was.
And he in the end, to make a very long, complicated story very simple, is that he directed his men to go break into the Democratic National Committee headquarters during the election period to steal their documents to get an advantage for the election.
Wow.
Okay, so he actually sent burglars into the Democratic National Committee.
Wow.
So Nixon would tape all of his conversations, and he wouldn't hand over the tapes. And then eventually he handed over the tapes, except he didn't hand over 12 minutes of one tape. And he said, then that's executive privilege. I'm not going to give it to you. And it went all the way up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, no, you got to hand it over. And then once those tapes were handed over, that whatever was in those tapes was the incriminating evidence that he wasn't actually a crook, that he was a crook.
Right.
And then at that point, he resigned before getting impeached because he made a deal with Gerald Ford that if he gets, I don't know if a fact he made a deal because I wasn't part of that conversation, but my belief is that he made a deal with Gerald Ford, I will go quietly, you give me a pardon. And that's why he never actually went to jail.
Got you.
Right. Gerald Ford was his vice president
Which
at the
is
time.
what I felt like was the same thing that was happening now.
Right, which was his vice president at the time.
Right.
Right.
Wow.
So that's kind of where we're at
crook.
now. So we're kind of following, history is kind of
Right. Just
repeating itself. And by the way, if you ever go and take a history class anywhere in high school or college, your teacher's always going to say, you always say, why are we learning this? Who cares what happened because history repeats itself all the time.
That's very true.
Okay? History repeats itself all the time. I just watched this weekend, I was just telling Jilly Bean, I watched Black Klansman this weekend.
Finally,
yes.
What'd you think?
I liked it a lot. I thought the last 10, 15 minutes was really, really powerful.
Yeah, because it shows exactly what
especially
you're saying.
Charlottesville at the end.
Man,
and
that's what really got me.
Right, and I watched it with my son.
Oh, wow.
And I said, it's amazing how history repeats itself.
Crazy.
Right.
Like to actually have that actual footage of what's happening today.
Right.
And you thought that this is something that was just happening in the 60s. It literally was the same exact
This was
thing.
the early 70s, actually.
Yeah,
Black Klansman.
70s.
Right. And then I'm like, wow, what to have both of those cops. What courage.
Right.
To be a black man and a Jewish cop, and then to go infiltrate.
I was nervous just
Klan?
watching it. Yeah, I was nervous.
Right?
Like,
I said I wouldn't do that.
hell no, because they almost caught the Jewish guy how many times?
Right. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I was talking to I showed my mom and my aunt that movie, and they were saying how they remember everything that was happening at that time. That person that
they remember the story.
They remember the person that went over there to speak to the whole Black Panther movement. They know that person.
Yes.
They actually knew him personally.
It wasn't Carmichael. It was his.
I forget his name.
The older man.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's crazy. Like I said, to see what my parents went through and what they experienced, and I'm kind of experiencing the same thing, you know.
When you see it again, right? Well, history repeats itself. History definitely repeats itself, and we're seeing it here right now.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, probably the biggest news to come out of the day is that there's a story coming out from New York Magazine, which is a very famous magazine for those of you who don't know in the New York metropolitan area. And New York Magazine is reporting today that Fox News was aware of the Stormy Daniels relationship between Stormy Daniels and Donald Trump. Fox News was aware of it prior to the election. They got wind of it about 10 days prior to the election. They knew about it. Wow. And Rupert Murdoch killed the story. This is according to New York Magazine, who is the president of Fox News, because he says, I want Donald Trump to win. And they wouldn't, and it was, I'm sorry, the New Yorker Magazine, not New York Magazine. And they wanted Donald Trump to win because they felt, well, 10 days prior to an election, if it turns out that news came out that Donald Trump had an affair while he was married to Melania Trump, who was pregnant with his child with a porn star, maybe people would say, you know what, you're a scumbag.
Right.
Okay. It turns out that Fox News, if this is true, buried the story just like the National Enquirer.
Like the National Enquirer.
Just like the National Enquirer. So the newswoman or news person who had the scoop her name was Diane Falzone. And according to New Yorker Magazine, I'm quoting them, it says, Diana Falzone, who often covered the entertainment industry, had obtained proof that Trump had engaged in a sexual relationship in 2006 with a pornographic film actress calling herself Stormy Daniels. Falzone also amassed emails between Daniels' attorney and Trump's lawyer, Michael Cohen, detailing a proposed cash settlement accompanied by a non-disclosure agreement. Falzone had even seen the contract drafted by Michael Cohen. But Falzone's story did not run. It kept being passed off from one editor to the next, and after Falzone kept getting one non-committal answer after another from her editors, the head of Fox News told her, quote, good reporting, kiddo, but Rupert Murdoch wants Donald Trump to win, so let the story go. Now, the head of Fox News, who is still there, Ken LaCourte, denies ever saying this, but one of Falzone's colleagues confirmed this conversation actually happened. So that is insane.
I mean, when you have the power, you have the money, you have the power. It's like you can get away with murder, literally.
Yes,
it's crazy.
Trump was elected to drain the swamp, and he's the swampiest of the swamp. He's like the swamp monster. Okay, he didn't drain anything. He's like lives in the swamp. This guy.
Right.
Okay, I'm surprised he's not green instead of orange. So one of his swamp monsters, Roger Stone, he was supposed to not do anything on Twitter and YouTube to antagonize the judge or the jury or anything in his upcoming trial for obstruction of justice as part of the Mueller probe into the Trump campaign. It's amazing that now 6 people have going to jail already who are associated with this Trump campaign, but he's done nothing wrong, right?
Absolutely.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing, quote unquote.
So in a new Instagram story, Roger Stone wrote, in a Roger Rabbit style photo illustration on an Instagram story, he wrote, "Who's framing Roger Stone?" Okay. Now the judge has already put a gag order on his Instagram. It is possible that this will now land him in jail.
Oh wow! Because of the Instagram story?
Yes, because the judge said no more doing any of this stuff on Instagram, and then he did it again. And then number 7 bullet,
the myth
he is writing a book that's coming out right now called The Myth of the Russian Collusion, the inside story of how Trump really won. So maybe Roger Stone is doing all of this simply for publicity, because that's what people like to do, is cause publicity to get his book out, because that book is coming out any day now.
Wow.
So it's possible he's doing all of this just to... it's
March 11th,
you hate to be so cynical these days, but you got to be.
Yeah.
Right? You just got to be cynical these days. Finally, it has come out that the number of illegal immigrants living, I don't like to say the word illegal, undocumented, but this survey is using illegal, but I don't like illegal.
Undocumented.
Undocumented sounds a lot better.
Yes.
Because nobody's actually committing a crime. The only
is
time
true.
you're illegal is if you get deported and then re-enter without permission
Okay.
from the government. That is a crime, and you've heard me say that plenty of times. Now you're illegal. But the fact of you running across the border and entering without inspection,
That's not illegal.
that's being undocumented. It's a
Okay.
civil offense. You come on a visa and you overstay your time, that is a civil offense. You're just undocumented. But people all over say illegal. Why? Because it fits their narrative that somebody's doing something wrong
course.
against the law.
Yes.
All right, that they're criminals. It fits the narrative. You're a criminal if you call yourself illegal,
Right.
or call them
This is
illegal
going against
instead
the
of
law.
undocumented.
Right.
So this number of illegals, we'll call them undocumented, has hit a new low, falling 1.6 million people from a high of 11.7 million in 2000. There's now a little, based on these numbers, if I'm doing my math right, a little more than 10 million undocumented aliens in America. Now, I don't like the word alien either, although it is used in the Immigration Nationality Act. It is a legal term, alien. But when you say the term alien, it sounds like you're from outer space.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now put illegal alien together.
That's
no
just
wonder it
two
puts
negatives.
no wonder it puts people makes people go crazy,
Listen,
right?
that's-
Just think
yeah.
about it. Words matter. The words
Yeah.
you use to describe people matter.
Absolutely.
Okay. You call somebody illegal, it sounds like they're a criminal. And you call
And then
somebody an
the
alien, it
aliens,
sounds like they're from another
yeah,
world.
they're not
They have
normal.
nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Okay. How about if you called somebody an undocumented human being?
Oh, that's you're humanizing
Then
them.
you're humanizing them,
Yeah,
and you're not,
you
and they're not
shouldn't be
criminals.
humanizing
That's
these
right.
criminals. That's what
correct.
they want you to think.
Right. But meanwhile, so this poll says that now there's 10.7 million people living, we'll call it out of status in the United States. I don't buy that number at all.
Oh, you don't?
Because we have my office since 2018 years, 17 years. We've had, maybe 150,000 people contact us for legal help. That doesn't mean I helped 150,000 people, but
you had
we have had approximately 150,000 people contact us for legal help in the last 18, 19 years.
Right.
So are you saying to me, okay, that almost 1.5% to 2% of the
Just hit you
undocumented
up.
population in the United States of America hit me up to help them? One out of every 50 people or 60 people hit me up, Brad
That makes
Bernstein?
sense.
Makes
That
no
makes
sense.
Right.
So to me, maybe it's 10 million people in the Northeast,
But
but certainly not in America. I think it's a lot more. in my opinion.
But basically,
And I don't.
what
And there's
it's
no
saying,
way.
though, what
And
it-
there's no way to actually, because how do you do this poll? How
Yeah,
can
you
do,
can't, 'cause
excuse me. Hi, I'm calling from the illegal
That is
immigrant.
true.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Jonathan Elias. I'm calling from the illegal alien immigration polling company. I'm calling to see if you're an illegal alien or not.
Right.
Can you please answer
There's
some
no way
questions?
to find out.
Click. I mean, there's
That
no
is
way to
true.
find out. How would they know?
But I do think it has gone down, though. It's definitely gone down. Right?
I think people are more scared to be here, and I think, people say, you know what, it's not worth the hassle and the effort.
Right.
But yes, so it has gone down, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. With that said, Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias, let me stretch here a second,
Absolutely.
and you go tell people what their jobs are one last time because they didn't get it the first time.
I think you guys got it.
They didn't get it.
Come on, did you guys get it or not? You guys, please share right now as we're speaking. Click that little share button. It's an arrow that you see on the bottom or top of the video, depending on what device you're looking at. Facebook, please, you guys, interaction. We need you guys to interact. We want to know exactly what you're thinking, what you feel about the stories that we're saying. Just like you were talking about Luke Perry. I read your comments. You said, rest in peace to Luke Perry from 90210. Rest in peace to him. So you guys tell us about news that you find out about, anything you want us to talk about possible. And also, like, love, laugh, wow, smile. sad face, mad face, whatever you feel about what we're talking about, please make sure you interact. And now for YouTube, all you have to do is copy the link and send it, and make sure you try and send it into a WhatsApp group. We love the WhatsApp app because you're able to share that link to any and everybody you want to. And also, please subscribe. Like that button right now as well. If you're on YouTube watching, press that like button. All right? Now, what you guys have all been waiting for, we are going to answer some immigration questions. And what we like to call getting answers. Call with your immigration questions.
There you go. You actually say it correctly, Jonathan. Thank you very much. And yeah, we'll talk about Luke Perry. We got to talk about Michael Jackson.
Ooh,
right?
Listen.
But let's answer some immigration questions first, right? Well,
listen, we're going to talk about Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
If you guys have not seen Neverland or Leaving Neverland, yesterday was part 1 on HBO, and we're going to be talking about that after this segment. So make sure you stay tuned for that.
All right. Let's go to Travis in Brooklyn. Travis.
Hey, Brad. How are you guys doing today?
Good, good. What's going on?
All right. So I have a question. If someone file a SID case and they receive the notice of intent to deny based on the age, between the age of 18 and 21, do you think it's like best they wait and see what the decision on the federal law?
No, you got to keep your case. No, because you got to keep your case going and alive. Because if you don't keep your case going and alive, you'll turn 21 and then you'll be out of luck. So you want to respond to that notice of intent to deny, get denied, and then keep the case, and then appeal that so you can keep the case alive. Because if you get you don't respond, that's the end of your case. And then let's say in a year and a half from now, it's finally determined that Trump's wrong and the way they've been doing such cases for the last 30 years is correct, which I believe is going to happen. And you're now over 21. You can't go back and reopen that case, and you can't go file a new case because you're over 21.
Okay, and a follow-up question on that. So what if the person, they have like a spouse who is a permanent resident and they are eligible for citizenship next year? You think they should like go ahead and withdraw the case?
No, I think they should still keep it. I still think I still think they should keep it going. Let the spouse become a citizen, and then at that point withdraw and let the spouse file. And by the way, if the person's married, the person's married right now?
No, they're not married.
Okay, because if the person's married, once they marry, then you're no longer a juvenile. You're emancipated. So
Yeah, they're not married now. They was just wondering, right. So like if they get denied, they're not put into like removal or deportation.
I don't think they would be put into removal and deportation. But certainly if they are, then certainly getting married is a good idea. But I would at this point, at least in the bare minimum, respond to the notice of intent to deny. And then if they want, they can have a consultation with me, and then we can go through and discuss all their different options and what's best for them. But not knowing anything about them, that's my assessment. If I knew more about them, I may change my mind.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Joe in Boston. Joe.
Hi, sir. How you doing?
You?
All right. Yeah, I have a little problem to ask you. I get my papers 2002. I have the deportation. I came as a refugee in 93. And we went to court and everything. I moved to different states. And I get married, and I get my green card 2012.
Great.
2000. Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening. You got ordered deported, or you were in deportation, and then you either reopened your case, so while you were in deportation, you got married, it ultimately worked out, and you have a green card in 2012. I heard everything.
Yeah, but that time, I don't know I was deportation because...
Oh, you got the green card without knowing about the deportation, and immigration didn't know about it either.
Yes, but when I changed my last name, they asked me if I used a name before, and I say yeah. And,
okay, so now you have, all right, Joe, I wouldn't say another word because you may have, there may be some, they may say you misrepresented who you are. You're certainly not a lawful resident if you had a deportation under a different name, okay? And I don't know what your situation is, but you're not the first human being to come from one country, claim they're from another country, and claim asylum when it's not who they are. I'm not saying that's what you did. I'm just saying you won't be the first human being. Immigration knows that trick. So I wouldn't say one more word, and I would hold on and have a personal one-on-one private consultation with us. Hold on one second. All right?
Okay.
Yes, he knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right? All right, because it sounds, I'm not saying that's what Joe did. Okay, but what happens is sometimes you come from one country and then you file for it because from that country you don't get asylum. Okay, so then you file from a different country. Say I'm from here and that's my name. And then you ultimately get married in your real name and get your green card and forget that old asylum case.
Yeah.
It comes back and bites you in the ass.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let's go to Susan in Los Angeles. Susan.
Yes, hi, Brad.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I have two questions, please. A friend of mine came here when she was 16. Her mom was a citizen, but she didn't know. But she got deported back home 9 years ago because of drugs in Jamaica.
Okay.
Is there any way possible for her to...
How old is she? She came when she was 16.
Yes.
And when she came when she was 16, she was a resident?
Yeah, she was a resident. She came on a green card.
Okay, how old is she?
She's 54.
Okay. Was her mom ever married to her dad?
No.
And when she came, her mom was a citizen when she entered the United States?
Yes.
Then they deported a U.S. citizen. We can send her to the U.S. Embassy. She may have been found guilty of drugs, but they deported a U.S. citizen. So
her mom is died.
Even if her mom's dead, her mom's alive, she was a citizen when she entered the United States at 16. So all we got to prove her mom was a citizen when she was 16. Her mom was never married to her dad, and she had a green card. 3 things. And then she walks into the U.S. Embassy. She gets a U.S. passport. We help her do all of this. It could actually literally be done in a couple of weeks. She comes back to the United States with a U.S. passport. We then make a motion to the immigration judge to say, hey, you deported a U.S. citizen. Take this deportation order off. They will do that. And then we sue the, crap out of the U.S. government for deporting a U.S. citizen.
Okay, and one more question, please. And there's another one. She's 52. She came here when she was 12. And she came here as a resident, too. How can she go about filing for her citizenship?
File an N-400. That's a different situation. But certainly, Susan, hold on. You're not the first person that we've helped do this, okay? So I have lots of experience with this. Hold on one second. Let's go to Anthony in Irvington, New Jersey. Anthony.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. Quick question. I travel on advance parole a month or 2 ago, but it was an emergency one which I went in for.
Right.
I got the EAD already, but I didn't apply for the combo. So hopefully my interview will come before August, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna get the card in hand, just in case I don't. How can I travel?
Well, is your advanced parole for multiple entries or one? I don't know what it says.
Just one.
Then you would need to file for a new advanced parole. Usually, the advanced parole document that you get says is valid for advanced parole and is allowed for entry. I'm paraphrasing what it says, but is allowed for entry until XYZ date for multiple entries. That's usually what it says.
That one only has 30 days, which 30 days.
Okay, fine. So then you got to file an I-131 for a new advanced parole.
And send it back to immigration or go in to the office?
No, send it to immigration because I don't think you have a second emergency, so it goes through the normal channels.
Okay, all right. All right, thank you.
You're very welcome. Let's go to Elaine in Brooklyn. Elaine.
Hi, Brad.
How are you?
I'm good. I have 2 questions.
Go ahead.
First, how much affidavit of support is needed for if a husband is filing for his wife and 5 children in Jamaica, 5 minor kids?
How many people does the husband have to support right now?
Just himself.
Just himself. All right, so it's going to be a family of 6.
Yeah.
Okay. So for 2019, family of 6, 35,000 times 1.25, so another 10, 20, 30. Yeah, figure somewhere around $44,000 a year.
Okay, and if it doesn't make that, can a person that give the support that has already give support for 3 persons?
Yeah, they can do it for 100 people as long as they make enough money.
Okay, and more than one person can do this, right? Can do
Correct.
The support.
You can do one person can do one, another person can do another. Doesn't have to be one person doing for every family member.
Oh, as long as it's combined to over 44,000, right?
For the petitioner, yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Annie in Brooklyn.
Hi, good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm fine. I want to find out something. I'm married to my husband 8 years ago. And during the marriage, we had separate. So we end up, when we married, I get it 2 years. And after the 2 years, what is going on with the relationship, we end up in domestic violence. So the court end up, the police end up coming and taking him out of the apartment. So I was under abuse. So right. I end up getting my next part of my green card under abuse. But while we were married, my daughter was 14 and now she's 22. So my husband and her still have a relationship. We still married. We in divorce, though we separate. And he wants to put in file for her. How can we go about it?
But she's 22. She's 22 years old now. So if the husband files for her, she's going to wait about 7, 8, 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You should have done something as an abused spouse. You could have included her on the case from 14 to 21. You didn't do it.
Because I asked the lawyer who I was dealing with, and he said, no, she cannot come on the case.
Then you dealt with an imbecile.
Oh, sure.
And of course, if you said, and this goes for everybody out there, if, somebody says, I can't be reunited with my child, you just don't say, okay, fine. Go ask a second and third person. It's crazy. All right. But now if the husband was to file for her, she's going to wait a long time. What I would suggest you do is make an appointment to come in. Let's see what other options are. Hold on one second. All right. Yeah. The lawyer said no, so okay, then my kid sits in. Got to be a little more than lackadaisical than that.
Gotta be aggressive.
A little more aggressive, right? Let's go to Jay in Norwalk.
Hello, Brad. How are you?
Jay, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So I have a couple of questions. I filed I-751 for my wife.
Mm-hmm.
For remove the condition of the green card. That was in July 20 on 2017. Now, after 2 months, we did our biometric. She did her biometric. Now it's been almost 19 months, but we haven't not received nothing yet.
How long has you been filed for 19 months now, and she still doesn't have a green card?
Yeah.
Or an interview?
No.
And where's she from?
She's from Connecticut.
Where originally?
Well, what do you mean? From
Where was
the
she
country?
born? What country? Yeah.
From Bangladesh.
Okay. It's possible because it's Bangladesh. There's more background checks. I don't know, but it shouldn't take it shouldn't take more than 24 months or so. So and
we did she went to the USCIS to the office. Yeah. She got her two-time stamp now.
Well, you have two choices.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can wait. It could be 24 months. It could be 30 months. So you have potentially another year of waiting or less. I don't know for sure. Or you can come see us and we can file what's called a mandamus action. And within 90 days, she will have an interview and a green card. And it's just because the government has to work.
Nice.
Okay, so that's up to you.
Okay.
All right, so hold on 1 second. Let's go to David in Chicago, Illinois.
Very good show.
Thank you, David. You're a very good caller.
Listen, maybe my brother has problem. I don't know, because he called too many people and everybody have different opinion. I find your show and it's great.
Okay,
so
thank you.
Let me ask you this: when you 10 years green card, did they gonna check divorce decree when he renewed 10 years green card?
No, but if they will check it on your citizenship, but not when you renew the green card.
100% kosher?
100%. When you go to renew your green card, no one's looking at your divorce decree. If you go file for your
I'm going to
citizenship...
tell you why. Well, I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
Because when he was with his wife, he removed his condition together. They sign, we together, they accept the green card, but looks like not finally divorced. The separation showed that he was not with her even before 2 months before.
If he committed some sort of fraud, I don't think he wants you discussing it on the air. I can tell you that when you go to renew a green card, the U.S. government does not ask for a divorce decree. When you go on a 10-year card, so you have a 10-year card, you want to go renew it for another 10 years, nobody's looking at a divorce decree. And
do you think he can travel? Some people said, no, don't travel in these days, and some people said they don't check, some people check. No, he doesn't want to travel anymore.
Listen, if he committed fraud...
He didn't. No, he was. My mom was in a wedding. My sister. We all were good. Just the divorce decree said, "Oh, it's wrong. You lied." He didn't.
Whether he knowingly did it, he didn't knowingly do it. Whether he got it, it sounds like what you're saying to me, and I don't know for sure. And what you're saying to the world, by the way. So there's no attorney-client privilege here. Okay.
Yeah, I understand.
All right. So it's not the smartest thing, not the smartest call. Although, thank you for your compliments earlier. But what you're saying to me is, there was something in that application, whether he knowingly did it or didn't knowingly do it, that really he didn't deserve his green card. Well, he certainly didn't deserve the green card the way he got it, and he's obviously very concerned about filing for his citizenship and having this all blow up in his face.
Exactly.
And you're asking me, is it safe to travel? Is it safe to renew a green card? Generally speaking, okay, not knowing anything about his case. So, I mean, you're asking me to comment on whether a third party who I've never met, who I've never reviewed his documents, on a live show off the top of my head, is safe to travel based on some sort of fraud that he knowingly did or didn't knowingly do, and whether he was, I don't even know what happened. But generally speaking, to answer your question, the answer is when you travel, nobody's asking for a divorce decree, and when you renew your green card, no one's asking for a divorce decree unless they have a reason to. So why would they have a reason to? Because maybe it's in the computer system. They say, hey, something's screwed up here. Let me go check into this more. Or because that would be the only reason. If there's no reason to ask, nobody. The general rule is when you travel, here's my green card, and you go through. General rule is when you go to renew my green card, here it is. So unless there's a reason, now I'm going to tell you something. If maybe from immigration, somebody from immigration is watching this show and they can figure out who you are, maybe they'll have a reason. I have no idea. That's why I say never talk about this.
I know. No,
TV,
I understand. Right.
Up to you.
Right. He did travel. He did travel. 3 years ago, they put him to the room, but they gave him green card just because he had conviction 20 years ago. But
that's a whole other story.
Yeah. All right. Great. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right.
Bye.
What do you want me to say? Marge wants me to check the crystal ball.
Yeah. Look, yes. We need to get you a hat.
All right. Yeah, I need the,
the turban.
The turban, right.
And then I want it to be like whimsical sounding.
All right. Is this mysterious man? Right.
Bewitched.
Right, yeah. Is this mysterious man from Chicago who I've never met, who I don't know what he did wrong, who apparently is scared to file for his citizenship and has some sort of criminal arrest from 20 years ago that I don't know anything about? Is he okay to travel? It is uncertain. Exactly.
See?
Even the April doesn't know.
Thank you, Grandma, for that.
Thank you. All right, let's go to Boba.
Hey, Mr. Brad, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
All right. I have couple questions for you.
Yes.
My application has been pending over like 2 years right now. Last time I went to USA, I had to check out the study. They told me the guy who did my interview was promoted somewhere else. So me and my wife, we try everything. But right now, we're not living together. Is any way if I get divorced, I can sue the government to come out to the conclusion?
I don't understand what happened. Say it again. I apologize because I missed.
I said I had my interview 2016.
Right.
2016
You still
from
haven't
now,
got, you still haven't
they didn't
gotten
make
your
any.
you still haven't gotten your green card.
No green card, no
But you're no
decision,
longer with your
nothing.
wife. No, you can't sue the government now if you're not with your wife. You got to still be eligible for it.
We still not together at this point because her mom moved to us, so we had some kind of issue.
Mother-in-laws
and
always
they
screw
both-
up the marriage, of course. But you got to be together with her before you go sue the government, because you're suing the government on a marriage that you're not entitled to a green card anymore on. You're supposed to be in a bona fide marriage with your spouse all the way through the moment you get your green card. And you're not.
Right.
So I think you need a consultation. Hold on one second. All right?
All right.
And that's unfortunate because you should have gotten it already. I wish you called me 2 years ago about this, not now. All right, let's go to Abbott in Brooklyn. Abbott.
Hi, Brad. Good listening to your show. Very informative.
Thank you very much.
Question 3-part series.
Yes, three-part. Wait, Yo-Yo, get a pen out. Take out 3 parts here.
All right.
Okay, part 1.
Yes.
Yes, part 1. Came here from Canada in 2007.
Yes.
Got married in June of 2016. Everything was approved, and I did my fingerprint, but I have to go to Barbados to get my green card.
Did you do a provisional waiver?
Yeah, for the waiver. I needed a waiver.
Did you do it?
Yes, I did. I did the waiver already.
You got it approved?
I'm waiting for it to be approved, but I also did a fingerprint in October of 15th of October, 2018, and that is last year.
Okay.
How long does it take to get the approval?
12 months.
About 12 months. Wait from the time of the fingerprinting.
From the time you start to file to the time you're done, 12 months.
So because I started the filing in 2017, September of 2017, so it is counting from.
Right. So you're a year and a half into this. So you're in Brooklyn. I would suggest what you do is come see me with what you've done, because a year and a half you should have had an answer already.
So I should have had an answer already?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your help.
That's it? I'm waiting for part 2 and 3.
Right.
No, that's coming from Canada is one part. Getting the
Okay, I got it. Okay, so there was 3 facts that he wanted me to know.
Okay.
I thought it was like a 3-part question. Yeah, Yo-Yo was waiting, right?
Yes.
All right. All right, come see me. Hold on one second. All right. We misunderstood.
Yes.
I thought it was going to be a 3-part question.
Me too.
And I was going to give him the answer. And the answer to question number 3, part 2, subsection A is...
It was nothing like that.
Nothing like that. Christopher, how are you? Christopher, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, what's going on?
Yeah, I have a question. I filed for an adjustment status based on marriage from November 2017.
You filed for your aunt, you said?
No, adjustment status.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so from November 2017, I filed for it. In May 2018, I received my combo EAD and advance parole.
Sounds good.
And yeah, from there, my I-485 said my case be ready for an interview. And since then, like a couple months later, I received a letter that said that my local office should schedule it.
So you're basically waiting 2 years for your interview and you never got it?
Yes.
Okay. So the Brad Squad knows exactly what I'm going to tell you. You have 2 choices in life. You could sit on your hands and wait, or you can come to me or to another good lawyer and file a mandamus and force the government to give you an interview, which is really what you should be doing. You shouldn't have to wait 2 years for a green card married to a U.S. citizen. All right? And we've even had Abadir on this for 20 minutes. Maybe we should play that again. That was very important, Joe. Maybe we may do it again.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Hold on one second. You need a mandamus. That's what you need.
Look, even Grandma said it.
What? Mandamus. In all caps. Exactly. Let's go to Kiana in Miramar, Florida.
Hi, Brad. How are you?
How are you?
I'm doing good. I got a question. If my husband, he recently got naturalized, and they made a mistake on his certificate. Can he still go ahead and petition for someone while he has that fixed?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a citizen.
So, okay. So the thing is, I mean, because he's making a big deal out of it, because now he won't be able to look about his passport.
Yeah, well, his passport's all going to be all screwed up, but he's got to fix his naturalization too. But the fact is, he's a citizen.
Okay, and do you know how long it'll take based on the fact that it was their fault? Like they
1 year unless you file a mandamus. So.
Oh man.
Yeah, so just do it. Go file now.
Okay, so he put in the application to have it
fixed,
but in the meantime, he can still petition.
Absolutely, he's a citizen.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. I've learned a lot from you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
I love hearing that.
Yes, it's good. All right. Keisha.
Hey, Brad.
How are you?
I'm okay. Quick question.
Yes.
I have a friend. Her daughter's father is filing for her. However, when the affidavit of support was sent over to NVC, they received a notification that actually when the daughter did her interview in Jamaica, they held on to the passport and told her that her dad needed to supply them with further
They didn't believe.
income.
They didn't believe he was the biological father.
Yes,
Right.
but they want the father to provide. Apparently, his income wasn't adequate.
Oh, the income.
So
I
they
thought
wanted him to
usually
provide.
they say the father should have a blood test. But okay, so the income was not good. Okay, so then what happened?
So the mother of the child, who is in Jamaica with her, went ahead and got two sponsors here in the U.S. to add to the affidavit of support to bring the income up. When she sent it off to them, she was told that she sent it in too late, which she said it wasn't late, it was still on time, but she said they said it was out of time.
How long was it from the time that they held on to her passport to the time she sent it in?
Actually, I didn't ask her that question, but she said they.
How long has it been
since?
How long has it been since she's gone for her interview?
It's been over a year.
Okay, so I think at this point you need lawyers to contact the embassy to figure out what's going on.
No, what she said is
Okay,
what
then you
she
don't need
said
that.
is what they sent to her. She said she either needs to reapply or reinstate the application by paying for the medical, police record, and an oath, the fees and an oath. Now, what's that oath that you're talking about?
I have no idea. Just follow their instructions then. Okay, so if they say reinstate it, then reinstate it. There's no oath.
No,
that she's taking.
she wants to do that, but she doesn't.
I think
she's not
maybe
familiar with the oath.
maybe I don't know what you're not taking an oath to get a green card, but maybe it's some sort of statement to say I want to continue with my case. Probably something to that effect.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right.
All right, I'll let her know.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Good, yeah. Why are you calling me? If I'm going to give you advice, you say, no, that's not what I wanted.
I think sometimes, they don't really listen to exactly what you're saying. They just want to make sure they get their point out.
Yes.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yes. Okay. Frank in Philadelphia.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Hi, Steve.
Steve?
Hi, Brad.
Yes, Frank, you're on live. It's Brad. Yes.
Yes. I thank you for everything you do because you help many people with your show.
Thank you.
Yeah, we love you.
Thank
I
you.
use your show to help myself to fight for power.
Very nice.
I've been married to one beautiful woman for 18 months. After 18 months, we get a problem because she abused me for emotional and physical.
Right.
Yeah, when she asked me for money, I say I'm not working. She started fight with me. Sometimes she told me, you need to get out from my house, many things. And when I didn't find the money from some friend, my wife told me, I'm gonna give you a divorce or I will get red flag on your passport. that time I don't know what happened. What is the red flag? To one day I talked to somebody, and they told me red flag mean what that mean. I say okay. And
Your
one
wife,
day
there's no red flag your wife can give you. Okay, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, she told me she be every time because she have people work in immigration. That was the reason.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's no red flag on you. Nobody's going to jail because your wife's mad at you. Okay, so nobody's doing anything against the law at immigration, or I'd be very shocked if they did, just because your wife has a friend at immigration. Okay, no one's going to jail for your wife because she's mad at you. So don't worry about it.
No,
okay, she's just scaring you.
Yeah, she scared me, and after when I watched your show, I learned more about VAWA.
Right.
And I fight for VAWA. When I fight for VAWA, the thing I fight for VAWA since 2017, and right now I didn't receive nothing. Maybe I make some mistake, but
I don't know.
I get my points for.
I don't know. So maybe at this point you got to come see me and let me see what you're doing. All right? Because I don't know. I don't know why.
One more thing.
What?
The reason I talk
I'm
right
not sure
now
what
is,
the question is. Right. What's the question?
Well, my question is, I have one attorney who helped me to file this case, but every time when I call him, he say, I didn't have good answer from him, but when I come to your show, I have good answer.
So why would you go to a lawyer that you don't have a good answer for, and you're seeing a lawyer here on a show that you have good answers for, and then you go to another lawyer? Why would you do that?
Yeah, I don't know how to join you when first time and somebody send me to him.
All right, hold on one second. If you want me to be your lawyer, hold on one second. Hold on. Okay.
I think, that's it.
All right. So I didn't see this Neverland thing.
Okay.
Okay. Obviously, Neverland is the documentary with Michael Jackson. That was the name of his
About
ranch.
Michael Jackson,
okay,
not with him.
He's
Yes.
not with us anymore.
Yes.
Right, about Michael Jackson. It was Neverland was his ranch out in California. It was a take from Peter Pan.
Right.
That Neverland was the place where Peter Pan, who never wanted to grow up, lived. The two-part HBO documentary featured two men who claimed that the King of Pop sexually assaulted them when they were children. On the March 3rd premiere on the HBO documentary has loomed for weeks with the filmmakers, Jackson fans and family, and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias all squaring off on what this actually reveals about Michael Jackson. Oprah Winfrey is actually hosting a special after the documentary tonight, an interview with the two men who have accused Michael Jackson of sexually abusing them when they were young boys. The two men, Wade Robson and James Safechuck. Robson, he was a dancer. Safechuck was a child actor when they first came to Jackson's megastar orbit in the 1980s, but became estranged from the pop singer into their adolescence. Now, the Jackson estate is suing HBO for $100 million. And leaving Neverland, supposedly, I did not watch it. You did.
I did. The first.
Supposedly is a harrowing film. The graphic details shared by Robson and Safechuck are gut-wrenching and devastating to hear. And the emotional roller coaster both of these young boys' families were on and would stay on for the better part of 30 years, ripped them apart in a variety of ways. Now, what did you see on this, Jonathan?
So first, I do want you guys to, this is part of our interaction, I definitely want to know what you guys think about the whole story, the whole situation. Even if you haven't seen Leaving Neverland, we've known about the allegations and everything that's been going on with Michael Jackson and the case that he's been fighting since back in the 90s and to this day, even after his death. So I did see the first part of it, and I'm still Team Michael. Like,
what?
What
did you see that makes you were Team Michael before you went on?
I was Team Michael when I went on.
Okay, so what did you see, and what do you think, if you want to empathize with the people who are not on Team Michael?
Okay.
That are Team
Wade and Jimmy. So basically,
what did you see that was empathetic to them that you would say, wow, maybe this guy did something to them?
The fact that you had these two grown men and their mothers that were talking about the situation and talking about how amazing of a person Michael was and how much he did for them at the beginning of the show or the documentary. That right there already, like, for any person to go through a traumatic, situation, like they're
Well, is it
claiming.
possible that Michael Jackson really did a lot for this family and abused their child as well? Is that a possibility?
It's definitely a possibility, but I don't think it's what really happened.
Why?
These two kids came from a family where they, especially the mothers, wanted them to succeed in the entertainment industry. So Wade Robinson was dancing at the age of like 4 years old, 5 years old to Michael Jackson, and Jimmy was the first boy in that Pepsi commercial with Michael Jackson. He claims that he knew nothing about Michael. He was a Transformers kid. He didn't really care about that. But like when they showed him getting interviewed and he felt like that was an audition to be his little boyfriend, he was dancing to Michael Jackson songs and doing the exact same moves as him. So it made no sense. There were so many holes and there were so many.
Wait. That doesn't make any sense to me because, I didn't see it.
Right.
Okay. But the parents are to blame too.
Absolutely.
Okay, I remember growing up in the 1980s when I didn't see Leaving Neverland, so
Right.
I'm saying this based on nothing because I didn't actually see the interviews. But I remember growing up in the 80s that there was always news reports of Michael Jackson having sleepovers with young
Right.
boys,
Which he did.
in the same bed.
Okay.
And there were also news reports of some boys who sued Michael Jackson. And then there was a confidential settlement, and nobody ever knew what happened.
Right.
Okay, those are facts that happened in the 1980s.
Right.
I think it's weird that Michael Jackson slept in the same bed with little boys. I think it's weird that the parents would allow this because they thought about their own egos and fame over the welfare of their children.
Right.
What happened in that bed? I don't know.
Right. So my thing is, we all know that Michael Jackson definitely did not have the normal childhood. So it was definitely odd that a grown man would want to hang with a child that often and, have sleepovers. But that was exactly what it was. It was just him being odd. He was that type of person. And that's what I truly believe. I truly believe that. And especially because if you have the FBI following you, even when you don't know, you have them creating a case, you have them taking pictures of your whole body, and still none of these allegations or none of these victims can point out different birthmarks or anything like that. And then there's a video of the father of one of the childs that was trying to sue him in the back in the day in the 90s or 2000s. You hear him and the lawyer telling the kid exactly what to say. So that's why that was, it's all these people who wanted the fame that could not get it. Now, even with the two kids.
Are you saying this because you don't want to ruin your ideal of Michael Jackson?
No, absolutely not.
That you're like, wow, he was, the king of pop, and
absolutely not.
He was an amazing entertainer.
No.
And I just want to remember him this way.
No.
And I would be really sad if it turns out Michael Jackson was a child molester.
No,
you're not saying that.
I'm not doing, because I'm a realist,
Right.
So
you're just saying that if
that.
you watch this, I'm like, if I was on a jury, this is what I would believe.
Absolutely. And the fact that these two kids, or now they're adults, Wade Robinson and Jimmy, they felt betrayed because they were his best friend. He took them around the world. He took them on tours. And then when he became best friends with Macaulay Culkin and the other young boy, Brett something, they felt jealous. They felt like he betrayed them. They felt left behind. And you have Wade Robinson, who dated one of Michael Jackson's niece after. You have Wade Robinson, who still tried to audition and try to work with the Cirque du Soleil of Michael Jackson as an adult.
Well, just because.
How would you still want to be a part of this family when you feel like this guy just ruined your life?
Well, sometimes, people react differently to certain situations. You've seen, why does a woman stay in an abusive relationship? Why would, you say, boy, if this woman's really getting beat up by this man, why would she go home every day to get beat up again? Why?
But she's not happy when she's doing. These guys were literally smiling throughout the whole. I don't think so. I'm not here for it. I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys feel like this is real or whatever? It's very graphic. I'm gonna say that. Watching it has me hoping that my feeling is right.
Now, Asset Lindo says that he can't defend himself. He's dead. Why are they coming up with this now?
That part too.
I don't know. I don't know.
If you have, like I
And
said,
Lisa
the
Bling Rose
FBI
says if they come to Jamaica, they're going to see 4 kids on a bed and 2 more on the floor.
And
yeah, but that's Jamaica, and this is Neverland Ranch. No, or that's just culturally what happens.
I honestly feel like it was something that was so innocent with him. Yes, it was different and odd to us because we didn't have that same upbringing that he did. But
what are we going to see tonight? Do you know? Because I haven't been watching
the second
it.
part.
Yeah, are you going to watch? I haven't been watching.
I'm gonna watch the second part, but the first part it's literally just talking about Wade and.
Do you
Jimmy.
know what? Do you know what they're going to show tonight? Or we don't know
I don't
yet?
know.
All right,
No.
we'll
But
find out.
the 2 kids, which was Macaulay Culkin and Brett, that he hung out with after, both say that he never made a pass at him. There was never anything like that, no sexual abuse. And I feel like that's because they already had their stardom. They don't need this stardom. You have these 2 guys who have been wanting to be in the industry since they were kids, and they failed. So now they have a chance to have a book deal. They have a chance to get their name out. You know, you have to understand, like, these type of people are vultures. They do anything for
Carol
fame.
Anderson, the Tiger, agrees with you. She says Michael Jackson was a nice person, a calm, peaceful man. I don't believe it either, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You don't have to agree with me, y'all. Y'all don't have to agree with me. But this is just what I think.
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Watch it, and I want to know what you think.
But I suspect
that it
happened without knowing anything. Just my hunch, but I don't know for sure, and I didn't watch it, so I can't tell you.
One thing that I saw that I just felt like was like I wanted to see emotion from especially the Wade family, Wade Robinson's family. The only time I saw tears come out of the mom and Wade and the sister that they interviewed was when they left Australia to come to United States to further Wade's career. And the reason why they were crying is because they left their father, and their father said, "Please don't leave me," and he ended up dying.
You know, Marcia McCullough has a very good point.
Mm-hmm.
The guy is gone; he's dead, Michael Jackson. So what are these 2 victims getting out of this? What's the point?
They're getting fame.
They're getting fame.
They're getting
What's
fame.
the point? Right.
People are going to want to do book deals now.
What's the point of them coming out and doing this now?
They want fame.
Right. It's very
fame
cynical.
and fortune.
Cynical.
Yes.
Right. It's very possible.
I feel it deep down in my heart.
All right. Let's do something we like to call social media checking.
All right.
By the way, everyone's agreeing with you, Yo-Yo.
Really?
Yes.
Thank you, guys. You guys make me feel good.
Everybody's
with
agreeing Yo-Yo.
An honorary Jackson as well. So, thanks. All right, now for our first question, we have one from. What happened? There's more stuff?
Yeah. M00C2 says it's so freaky that Yo-Yo can't believe it.
Oh.
He says no grown black man babysits and sleeps in bed with strange little boys. Michael is king of pop, but he's still wrong.
I mean,
so some people have their opinions.
Some people have their opinions, but like I said, when I come from a family that's very loving, and we do stuff that other people might think is weird, like men kiss each other on the cheeks. We all our cousins might lay in the bed together, even as
I've kissed my father on the lips. It doesn't mean
I know, but to some people it is very weird.
Right.
If you see a picture of a kid kissing his father on the lips, that's weird.
Yeah.
But you never know until you know that individual.
But you know what's so funny? I don't do that to my kids because maybe it's a different time.
Because it's a different time.
Different time, yeah.
Absolutely.
Now that I think about it, yeah.
That's you got to think about stuff like that.
All right.
Fox
Fox Racing on YouTube says people are desperate and will do anything to extract money from a rich person.
There you go.
Like
They've
Michael
been
Jackson.
doing that for his entire career, and they still won't let him rest in peace. They didn't get it when he was alive. And what makes you think you're going to get it when he's gone?
I don't know. All right, Yo-Yo. I think a majority believe are strong Michael Jackson supporters like yourself.
Yes.
All right, let's do something we like to call social media check-in.
All right, our first one comes from Alicia Allen for the F2A. Which year NVC is currently processing?
They're up to January 8th, 2017.
Awesome. Jazanio Davis says, good morning, sir. This was from earlier.
Yes.
I just got my appointment for my interview, but still haven't received my EAD or travel documents. Is this okay?
Yeah, it's fine. Go for your interview.
All right. Diana Moore says, can a person get information on someone's immigration record because they were deported 16 years ago?
Yes, it's called the Freedom of Information Act request.
Rhinar says, I received an intent to deny on my SIJ I-360 for being over 18. When I applied, I was 20.
We talked about that. You should go respond to that and keep the appeal going. I think that guy was the first person to call.
Is that the one who called?
So.
All right. Pauline Turner says, my friend is married to a U.S. citizen. They went for his green card interview on February 2019. He had not submitted medical records and so was required to submit them on interview day. He had them but forgot to submit, but what is he supposed to do? He had also filed a misrepresentation waiver 2 weeks earlier, and after the interview, immigration official informed they will make a decision after they receive the waiver. Now, what do you know about the medical records?
Well, let him get the waiver, and then I'm sure they'll ask for a medical.
Okay. All right, Milred. If someone was arrested but judge dismissed the case and the case was a family dispute, domestically sea abuse, does it affect citizenship if he's a green card holder?
Every arrest affects citizenship.
All right, Donna Bell says, hey, Brad, good day. I have a quick question. I'm in the middle of a divorce. I have a final hearing next month and planning to apply for my citizenship. Came here in 2013, got my conditional in 2014, and received my permanent resident card in 2016. I'm eligible for naturalization, and me and my husband, we're living together. I don't know where he lives on the N400 form. There's a question about spouse current address.
Just say unknown, and you're basing it on 5 years, not 3 years, so it's fine.
Okay, and should they wait till the divorce is finalized?
No.
Okay. Olorun says, good evening, Brad. I have a question. I have my I-485 interview last week. I got there 15 minutes past the normal time, was stuck in traffic, and the lady we met took my appointment letter inside and wrote on it, the interview rescheduled, approved. Is this what I should be worried about? Please advise.
I don't think you should be worried. They rescheduled your interview because you got there late.
Mm-hmm. That won't affect anything.
No, they'll do a new interview another day.
You know, when you're in this, kind of gray area, you don't know like what's gonna happen, what little thing can affect. You worry about everything.
Exactly,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact is that you're programmed as a human being to think the worst.
Right, absolutely.
But that's just normal human physiology.
Mm-hmm.
Like the worst thing in the world.
Right.
Well, if you think about it logically, what they do, they just rescheduled you.
Right.
Take it for what it is.
Right. Instead of adding
right your
possibilities
your
and
fear
your
into
fear.
it. But it's just that's like Darwin.
Mm-hmm. That's a law of attraction.
Right.
I always say
that's
too.
like Darwin. Like if think about like the lion. The guy walking in the Serengeti.
Mm-hmm.
If he wasn't nervous that there was a lion. I wonder what's around that rock. If you weren't nervous that there's a lion waiting to eat you behind the rock, then all those people got killed. They just went behind the rock and got eaten by the lion.
Right.
So you worry about like what's the worst thing that could be behind that rock.
Yeah.
But if you think about it logically, what does it mean? It just means they rescheduled it. It is what it is. Take it for what it is. Is you went for an interview, you got there late, they were nice enough not to deny you, and they're rescheduling you.
All right, Christopher Lowe. My mom filed for me in 2012 of October. And she received my letter of approval last March 15, 2018 from the USCIS. How
much longer does she have to
for
wait?
NVC have with my case?
Okay, when did the mom file for her? She wants to know how long when she's getting her green card.
Okay, so filed 2012 and received the approval letter March 15, 2018.
And her mom's a citizen or resident?
Does not say.
Either way, you should be contacted by the National Visa Center now. Excuse me, in the next 4 to 8 weeks. You should be here sometime towards the end of 2019.
Oh, okay. Kajilia McKenzie says, can someone be detained for almost a month without charge?
Not legally, but they could do anything. They could hold you in jail for the rest of your life and not charge you unless somebody goes to court and says something about it.
So that means they should probably contact you.
Correct. You know, there's only fairness and constitution when you go see a judge.
Right.
When you're on the street and you say, well, police aren't allowed. Police can do whatever the heck they want.
Mm-hmm.
Police shouldn't do that.
Right.
But they just did.
Yeah.
Police shouldn't, but they just did.
So what you gonna do about it?
Right. So what you gonna do? You got to go to court. That's where you get justice.
Right. Okay, Latoya Hines says, if a green card holder is suspected of employing someone in their home, can they be deported or denied entry if they are re-entering from a visit to their home country?
Green card holder is what?
Is suspected of employing someone in their home.
Suspected? You're allowed to employ someone in your home.
Can
employing someone illegally?
Can they be deported or denied entry of
unless you committed a crime, no. And employing someone undocumented in your home is a civil offense, not a criminal offense.
Okay. Unique Terry Unique says, hey, Brad, I was recommended by Wendy on...
By the way, Marge Higgs, armchair lawyer, habeas corpus, correct, you are.
Hey.
That is the correct term, Marge. You are holding somebody illegally. Bring the body forward.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow. All right. Unique Terry Unique says, hey, Brad, I was recommended by Wendy, one of your successful clients that you worked for. I came to your office for a consultation. So she wants to know, can you tell me how I can see you personally so I can start my case?
You make an appointment to see Brad. You say, hello, Spar and Bernstein. I only want Brad. That's spelled B-R-A-D.
So yeah,
and you will make the appointment.
I think that's a good question because some people just want to see and they think that they just call and they'll get you automatically.
If you want to see me, you can, but you have to request it. Otherwise, you may not get me.
There you go. Annie Palmer says, good evening, everyone. So this is my question. My friend has her 2-year green card. It's up. She got the 18 months extension. Can she travel to Jamaica with that?
2-year green card, got 18-month extension. She could travel.
Okay. Rachel says, the VAWA is still extended?
Not yet, but it's funded through the end of the year. Hopefully they'll come up with something soon.
Awesome. Cammie Campbell says, I filed my paperwork last year, August, but my husband forgot to send the I-864. I have since filed a VAWA application because he got very abusive. The judge granted me a protection order. Now, since then, the USCIS requested the I-864, which I informed them I submitted a spousal application. Now, my question is about the work permit. Do I have to wait for the approval for the VAWA for the work permit, or will they still issue it through the I-864 is missing from my first application?
Well, what you need to do is you need to submit proof that you filed the VAWA and write to them and say, I filed a VAWA and I-864 is not necessary. Please convert my adjustment to a VAWA case, and hopefully you'll get your work permit.
Awesome. Quadman says, if someone who came in with a B1, B2 visa got married after the 90 days, at what time is it right for the spouse to file the I-130 for him, and what other forms are needed to file along the I-130 and the I-485?
You file the next day. Why not? Why should you make your spouse wait any longer? You file an I-485, an I-130, an I-864, an I-130A, an I-765, and an I-131.
Kay Palmer says, hey, Brad, how long does the N-565 process take, and can you petition 3?
You can petition as many as you want, as long as they're eligible for a certificate of citizenship. It takes about 9 months.
Awesome. Monique Gooden says, hey, Brad, question for a VAWA is a 1-year protective proof of therapy, a psychological report and affidavit from a friend, as well as joint bank account, car insurance, good enough for a VAWA case?
Is whatever Yo-Yo listed in terms of
1-year
documents
protective proof of therapy.
Good enough for a VAWA case. And Magic 8 Ball on point again. Cannot predict right now.
Wow.
Cannot
So
predict
that's not
proof of abuse. Yes.
Right.
Do I know if that's
what they're going to actually look for?
I don't know. You just can't say here's 5 documents and I'm like, yep, good for you.
Mm-hmm. What's the guaranteed documents that you would need that would just be like, okay, I'm good for this VAWA case?
Well, you got to show physical abuse is.
So that's why whenever people call in and say I have pictures of my face after, that's just
or hospital records.
Right.
The most definitive thing is hospital records being treated for severe abuse, and on the hospital records it indicates that the spouse did this because you said it contemporaneously. And the other best thing is my spouse got arrested for beating me up and got convicted and is in jail. That's
So proof of therapy and psychological report would not be.
That's good.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, it's good. But I mean, is that enough? I don't know.
Right.
Do I know what the psychologist is going to write in the report?
Exactly.
I have no idea what's in the report.
Right. All right.
I don't know. I have to ask my magic 8-ball.
Yeah, you did, and he answered.
He says, not sure. Right.
Kay Palmer says, can you petition for someone while waiting on USCIS to correct your naturalization certificate?
Yes, we answered that.
Okay. Andrew, Ricardo Thomas says, how long does it take to replace the lost EAD?
6 months.
Caitlin Ling says, hey, Brad, my brother is a U.S. citizen. His fiance lives in Jamaica. If he goes there to marry her, how long will it take for her to get there using a lawyer if he filed a fiance visa?
About 9-10 months.
All right. I got a pretty long one here.
Uh-oh. Is this in 3 parts?
It seems like it, but it's just, I don't know. We'll see. Salman says, can you please shed light on if a green card holder lives for 3 years in the USA and then leaves for 4 trips of 5 months each to a foreign country and file for citizenship on return, is it a problem? That's the first one.
I need to know more information. This is the rules for citizenship. In the last 5 years, have you been in the United States for 30 of the last 60 months? Has any trip been more than 6 months? And have you been living in the state where you're filing for at least 90 days?
All right, so I have some more. Also, if the 4 visits are to Canada, where you
doesn't matter.
Also hold a permanent residence.
You can't be a permanent resident of 2 countries. You can't be permanently living in 2 countries. It's just logically not correct.
Okay, it says stayed there for 5 months but entered the United States before the 6 months continued period.
Sounds like you're trying to just be a permanent resident of 2 countries, which you can't be.
Okay, and follow-up question to my first 2, as under the circumstances, holding Canadian permanent residency a problem when you have already lived for 3 full years in the U.S. out of 5 years requirement for citizenship?
Yes, you can't be a permanent resident of 2 countries. There it is.
So then how the heck are they? Like, how?
Neither country figured it out.
Oh. So it's a possibility that...
It's just logic. Does it make any logical sense that I permanently live here and I permanently live there?
Right. All right. Chris White says, hey, Brad, I have a question. I filed for this child who obviously I thought was mine. I did a DNA back in December to just... For my use, but it turns out the child isn't mine. Her priority date is June 20th. Will USCIS need a DNA test? And if everything does work out that way, can I adopt her and file again? I hope to see this answer when I leave work because I'm on break.
It's not you're not the father. You can't file for her. End of story. Now, you want to adopt her as an orphan. If it's under 16, you can try to do that. If she's here in the United States, you can do a SIJ. Depends what her situation is.
So are they going to ask for a DNA test?
Most likely. And the fact is, you know it's not your daughter, so now you're committing a crime by continuing.
Okay. Sid says, during my green card interview marriage case, if the USCIS office asked you, have you ever lied previously to the U.S. government or ambassador? Your answer was yes, and it was during my visa process, else... The interview was we answered correctly and showed everything as proof of our marriage, but I'm a little bit worried about that question. Will the USCIS office take that to against my interview results?
You just admitted to misrepresentation. You're going to get denied.
Oof. You're going to get denied. So what should they do now?
I don't know what the lie was. They just said, I checked yes. So have a consultation with me.
All right. Better call in, Sid. Rachel says, can I stay in America while I'm waiting immigration to mail me my green card?
Yes, you can stay in America while you're waiting for assuming you're a permanent resident. Not a permanent resident, don't stay here illegally.
All right.
So I'm not sure what her situation is.
All right. Xavier, for our last question, my name is KK. My husband filed in October for me and 2 kids, 5 and 2. How long does it take for the I-130?
Who filed for who?
The husband filed in October for her and the two
It takes
kids.
about 12 months, but if you want to file a mandamus, it could be quicker.
All right.
All right, with that, now, you may remember about a week or two ago, Jonathan, I think it was Lisa Bling-Rose says, whatever happened to that woman who climbed up?
Yes.
And I said, we'll go check her out and we'll figure out if we can find her.
You know what? You actually did say that.
Right, and we actually did it.
See?
Yeah, so here are my notes. It says here, you may remember we recently interviewed Therese Patricia Okoumou, if I pronounce her name right, Okoumou.
Okay.
Who goes by Patricia, and the activist was arrested after she climbed the Statue of Liberty on July 4th, 2018 to protest the Trump administration's zero-tolerance policy. Patricia was born and educated in the Congo, lives in Staten Island. She's a naturalized United States citizen. Her family still lives in the Congo. She's part of a group called Rise and Resist who protests migrant family separations. When we last spoke to Patricia, she had not yet gone to court regarding the criminal charges against her for climbing the Statue of Liberty. There she is.
Yes.
Now, then on Thanksgiving Day, Patricia attempted to climb the Eiffel Tower in Paris, not once but twice. She unfurled the banner halfway up reading, "Return the children," before being forcibly removed by the police. She explained to press that she chose to climb the Eiffel Tower since the French gave America the Statue of Liberty. Makes sense. So in December, she was found guilty of 3 misdemeanors for her Statue of Liberty climb. She was found guilty of trespassing, interfering with government agency functions, and disorderly conduct, and she now faces 18 months in jail. But Patricia, while waiting for her sentencing in that case, still did not let the threat of a pending jail time curb her activism. On February 20th, Patricia climbed an Austin, Texas school for immigrant children called Southwest Key Program, where she hung a banner that said "Abolish ICE." After an 8-hour standoff with local police, she was taken to a hospital for evaluation. Now, after Austin, Manhattan federal prosecutors argued the latest incident violated the bail in her Lady Liberty case, and that she should be put in jail until her March 19th sentencing. Patricia's bail revocation hearing was held this past Friday, and Magistrate Federal Judge Gabriel Gorenstein ordered her to be fitted with an electronic monitoring bracelet and to remain at home unless she gets permission to leave for religious, medical, or legal purposes. And we were there to cover her hearing, speak to Patricia, and her attorney, Ron Kuby, who is one of Patricia's biggest supporters. Let's check it out.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Ron Kuby, Patricia Okoumou, you know, and my associate and one of Patricia's lawyers, Ria Trivedi. Ms. Okoumou is walking out of court today with a piece of jewelry she did not have when she walked in. She's been fitted with an ankle monitor and been ordered confined to her home until the day of sentencing. Obviously, we are happy that the court rejected the crazy notion that she is a danger to the community. We're happy that the judge chose not to incarcerate her over the objections of the government. We are unhappy about the fact that we have to be here in the first place. I just want to say to my colleagues in the media, especially MSNBC and New York Times writers, to the extent anybody thinks that the Southern District of New York operates independently from the Trump White House and the Trump Justice Department, it doesn't. The federal prosecutors today who sought to detain Ms. Okoumou are just fingers on the very small hands of the Trump administration doing their work the way he wants it done. I know Ms. Trivedi has a couple of words. I'm sure Ms. Okoumou has something to say, and then we're all going to
No, just a simple point that restraint is a measure of good government. And we're grateful that Judge Gorenstein demonstrated some restraint by not incarcerating Ms. Okoumou today, but not nearly as much restraint as he could have, and thus enabling the retaliatory agenda of the U.S. Attorney's Office, which is part of the same administration, part of the same agency that conducted the zero-tolerance policy of family separation that Ms. Okoumou was protesting in the first place.
I would like to say, follow the money. Go after Secretary of Education, Bessie DeVos, because she's been linked to this adoption agency called Bethany Adoption Services. follow the money. When the Trump administration claims they don't know where the children are, or they have no ability to reunite them with their families because some of them have already been deported, the truth is, and we're not stupid, you cannot lose human beings. They have a mechanism to make money off of these children. It was intended from the get-go. That's why they're not giving us the numbers. That's why they haven't been transparent. And my work here will continue as far as my activism, highlighting the atrocity of this administration. This administration is vile, and it will continue to be vile. But one day, with act of activism, bravery, the world will know that these children will have to walk out free. One of these days, my goal is that the children will be free and liberated from this rotten system. They need to go after CEO Juan Sanchez, the man responsible for most of these detention centers, like the one at Southwest Key in Austin, Texas. Investigate them, follow the money.
Mr. Riley has a pointed, obnoxious question, but a relevant one.
It is relevant. Will you promise to not break the law anymore?
No comment. How's that for an answer?
You said before going into court that you would go on a hunger strike if you were incarcerated. Do you consider this incarceration still? Do you still plan to carry out that plan? Or
I do not consider this incarceration. I think if the Trump administration, his cronies and apologists want to find some kind of satisfaction, they got it today. And let them rejoice. But the people know what the truth is, what I stand for. I stand on the right side of history. History will judge our conduct. History will judge this court. History will judge the judge and the system. We are facing hard times, guys. And people like me, civilians, performing the civic duties have to be applauded for the work that we are doing. This is not an easy job to go after the government that is criminalizing babies. These detention centers are creating an environment where the children are at risk because you have babies changing diapers. I mean, it's atrocity to describe the amount of physical abuse these children are going through. We are losing babies in custody. We're not going to forget the children they are killing. That's why I speak for the voiceless, because we're not going to wait for them to be eradicated on the face of this earth. They're in the concentration camps, and I am treating it as such. We are facing a humanitarian crisis. These children are being drugged, they are being manipulated, they are being treated unhumanely. And so they are being deprived of basic human rights. That's what I'm fighting for.
What about the judge saying that she could only make money by protesting? I wanted to get your response to that, but by breaking the law.
But that's, I mean, just as a technical matter, I mean, Patricia Okoumou worked for a very long time before she became a full-time activist. And she is a full-time activist, so she's supported by donations the way most full-time activists are supported. Let's face it, being an advocate against forcible family separation is not a job that somebody can apply for and receive funds for. So she does indeed exist on the basis of donations that people give her. But the judge got it exactly reversed. It is the donations that support her activism. She doesn't engage in their activism for donations. There are easier ways. There are easier ways to make a living than risking jail every single day.
Freedom fighter, not freedom fighter, not a criminal. Go after Donald Trump and his cronies and apologists.
So a message of hope for the American people?
Keep fighting. Don't get discouraged. Even if they threaten you with prison, don't get discouraged. Keep fighting. Because we stand for something. Democracy and our history. That's how we get our rights, civil liberty.
Don't forget that.
Yes, sister.
Thank you so much.
Yes. My name is Sister Shirley from Forgotten Borough, Staten Island. I am here to give my support to Patricia, my fellow comrade, with this movement against the powers that be, who's doing what they are supposedly legally doing to yet another of our children. This time it's immigrants. And as far as I'm concerned, and as far as she's concerned, we're all immigrants, bottom line. I hope that it will bring us together, and so that we can acknowledge that we have to stay together in order to overthrow this, because the system sucks. It's working exactly like it was meant to work, and it's not for all of us. It's for the powers that be. It's for the 1%. And as far as we're concerned, we're all immigrants, okay? Every single last one of us. Nobody has the right to be here more than the next person. We have to get justice for everybody. Everybody deserves to be here, not because you were born here or because you went through the so-called right channels. There are no right channels. It's supposed to be justice for everybody, and it's not supposed to be like just because this is America. It's supposed to be for human beings, period. Bottom line. Trump should not even be the president. We deserve and we need justice for everybody. Stop the racism, stop the injustice, and that's what we deserve and that's what we need, and we're not going away. Bottom line.
By the way, I don't like this whole idea of abolish ICE.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to reform ICE.
Yes.
Seriously reform ICE.
Yes.
I think abolish ICE is a really bad political move because it just goes right into like the hands of Donald Trump to say, look at all these liberals. They just want to open the borders and just let everybody walk in, every criminal, and that's not what abolish ICE means. Abolish ICE means that what ICE is doing is wrong to people. Okay, but when you say abolish ICE, it just plays into the other side's hands so easily. Just
That's
such
true.
a dumb thing.
Mm-hmm.
It should be reform ICE. Let's make them work for America instead of work against America.
Right.
That's what it should be.
I agree.
All right. Comments of the day.
Comments of the day. All right, our first comment of the day comes from YouTube. Carol the Top Cat Tigress 2 Anderson says, hey, my favorite lawyer, Brad the best. You make my day every day you come on. One love to you, Brad.
All right.
Nice.
She's had a lot of comments of the day there.
Has.
She knows how to write a comment of the day.
She definitely does.
Yes.
She definitely does. All right, so now we have one and a follow-up from Facebook. One is from Ali Boo Beecher saying, hey guys, happy Monday. I'm introducing the newest member of the squad, Jaden. He was born today.
Hey!
Nice. Happy birthday.
Congratulations.
Happy birthday.
Congratulations.
And the follow-up is on Facebook. Lisa Bling Rose says, welcome, Jaden. Hope you enjoy the show. Go and tell the rest of the babies about Uncle Brad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the time they grow up, I'll be retired.
All right, now on Facebook.
They'll be like, that guy's still doing that show.
And that's not a problem though. That's a good problem to have. All right, for our last one is on Facebook. Unique Terry Unique saying, Brad, it's a real Jamaican talk. You are the best.
Thank you.
So you're
I like
accepted.
that. I like that. When are we going to get like Yo-Yo, we had some nice comments about you too. You can talk about yourself.
It's not the Yo-Yo show.
It's not the Yo-Yo show. No.
And I'm okay with that.
You're okay with that. All right. We'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. So Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAWLINK. 1-800-529-5465.